Bo Nickel versus Renier de Ridder, a potential game changer. Bo Nickel's rapid rise in the UFC gained steam with his dominant wrestling and a composed decision victory over Paul Craig. Now he's taking on Renier de Ridder, who showcased his lethal submission skills by dispatching Gerald Meerschaert and Kevin Holland. Both men want to prove they're the superior ground force, setting up a chess match where one slip could end the fight. Nickel promises to shatter claims that he's a one-note grappler, while de Ridder, a former one championship title holder, aims to cement his place in the UFC's middleweight elite. This showdown pits a decorated wrestler against a versatile finisher, and fans are eager to see who comes out on top. Adding more intrigue is the fact that both fighters have quietly sharpened their stand-up, hoping to catch each other off guard. De Ridder's striking, often underrated, has shown flashes of power that keep opponents guessing, while Nickel's improved footwork and jab have surprised even his coaches. The return of Jeremy Stephens. Jeremy Stephens never shies away from controversy, and his comeback is no exception. After parting ways with the UFC in 2021, he ventured into PFL and even tried his hand at gloved and bare-knuckle boxing. The mixed results didn't deter him. Now re-signed for a fight in his hometown against Mason Jones, Stephens insists he's rekindled the fire that once made him a fan favorite. Critics say he's past his prime, but he believes his time outside the promotion taught him valuable lessons. With a fresh contract and loads of questions about his durability, Stephens is betting on his brawling style and experience to spark a memorable return. Mason Jones, a rising talent known for his relentless pace, isn't planning to play the supporting role in Stephens' homecoming. He sees this as the perfect opportunity to earn a signature win over a battle-tested veteran. The clash of personalities, Stephens' brash confidence versus Jones's quiet determination, could make for an explosive event. Corey Sandhagen versus Davison Figueiredo. An unlikely main event. Corey Sandhagen's creative striking was halted by a loss to Umar Nurmagomedov, leaving him eager to prove he can still outfox the toughest bantamweights. Davison Figueiredo, meanwhile, tasted defeat against Petr Yan, fueling doubts about how his explosiveness translates to a heavier weight class. Each man has proven lethal in the cage, but recent stumbles raise the stakes of this five-round clash. Sandhagen's rangy movement contrasts sharply with Figueiredo's raw power, making this a style versus style battle that could erupt in a highlight reel finish. It's a headliner nobody saw coming, but one that could shift the landscape of the division if either contender reclaims momentum in spectacular fashion. What's also fascinating is the psychological warfare at play. Sandhagen has historically thrived on maintaining distance, forcing opponents to lunge and overextend. Figueiredo, for his part, is famous for rattling foes by pressing forward with unrelenting aggression. Dominick Reyes feels disrespected. Once on the brink of dethroning Jon Jones, Dominick Reyes endured brutal losses that derailed his promising run. Now on a modest win streak, he's frustrated by the newer fighters who overlook his achievements. Veterans like Islam Makhachev and Justin Gaethje still treat him with respect, but Reyes senses a divide between the old guard and the fresh faces who ignore his contributions. For a man who nearly beat a UFC legend, it's a tough pill to swallow. With an upcoming bout against Nikita Krylov, Reyes hopes to remind everyone why he was once considered the next big thing, and that he's nowhere close to finished. Part of Reyes' frustration stems from the narratives painted on social media, where newcomers sometimes brand him as past his peak. He counters that he's only become more well-rounded since those crushing defeats, emphasizing improvements in defense and cardio. With Krylov standing in his path, Reyes views this as the fight that can re-establish him in the upper tier of the division. Arman Tsarukyan calls out. Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje's decision win over Rafael Fiziev reignited his desire for a title shot, but Arman Tsarukyan is having none of it. Calling Gaethje's victory barely surviving, Arman challenged him to a fight before he dares claim the belt. Gaethje's name carries weight, and Tsarukyan sees this as the perfect opportunity to show he belongs in the conversation. Yet Gaethje, known for highlight-worthy wars, might prefer a more direct path to the championship. Whether they lock horns or not, the tension between these two signals a shifting pecking order in the lightweight division. one that could produce a firestorm of memorable matchups. What makes the situation even more intriguing is how quickly the lightweight hierarchy can change. Gaethje brings big numbers and fan enthusiasm, making promoters eager to line him up for marquee fights. Tsarukyan, a rising talent with lethal grappling, has fewer big-name scalps on his record, but a hunger that could upend the established order. Jalin Turner's retirement and Chael Sonnen's support. After losing to Ignacio Bahamondes at UFC 313, Jalin Turner stunned everyone by announcing his retirement at just 29. He cited concerns about his mental focus and the toll fighting takes on his life. Chael Sonnen praised Turner for prioritizing his well-being, and Turner responded with gratitude, hinting there's still a chance he might return if the right doors open. For now, though, Turner is determined to protect himself and his family from further risks. It's a decision that highlights a growing trend in MMA, where stepping away early can be the bravest move a fighter ever makes. Those close to Turner say his mindset has been shaky since a few training camps back, fueling discussions about how mental health intersects with a fighter's performance. While some fans argue Turner has plenty of untapped potential, others applaud his self-awareness in recognizing the right time to step away. His choice also raises broader questions about the role of longevity in a sport that often rewards short bursts of brilliance. Presidential praise for Conor McGregor. During a St. Patrick's Day meeting with Irish Prime Minister Michael Martin, President Donald Trump shifted the conversation to Conor McGregor, calling the Dublin-born star a "who" with the best tattoos in the game. Trump's off-the-cuff admiration underscores McGregor's global pull, showing how far the UFC has come from its fringe beginnings. Fans are divided. Some view it as an odd political tangent, while others see it as just another testament to McGregor's star power. Either way, his name continues to pop up in the most unexpected places, reinforcing that he remains a towering figure, both in and out of the cage. Beyond the novelty of a presidential mention, it highlights how deeply McGregor has embedded himself in mainstream culture. The Irishman's persona, from knockout finishes to outrageous antics, resonates far beyond fight fans. Even those who have never watched a single pay-per-view likely know his name, and that's the kind of global reach few combat athletes ever achieve.